Hello, it's David from David's PC channel, and I'm here with the review of the Lenovo Thinkpad X121e Subnotebook. And basically, since this is really meant for, a student, maybe somebody who needs a mobile device, I'm not going to be doing any benchmarking or anything like that, but it's going to be more about the day-to-day aspects of the device. So starting off on the lid, actually, it is a soft touch matte finish, and you can see with not really having sweaty fingers or anything, you leave smudges quite easily. It's not fingerprints, but it's smudges, and this happens mainly on the top. And also, I'm going to try and get it from a different angle. The lid dents significantly, and you'll see effects of that on the inside later, where you actually have keys and the frame leaving marks. So the build quality is actually really good, because I don't think it was designed to be, rock solid. But still, I mean, I could have lived with a tighter lid. Now, opening the device with one hand is not possible because the battery is located in the back. So you kind of need two hands and just open it like so with one hand. Now, about the screen, you can see it's a matte screen. And here would be one of those effects. I don't know if in the light you can see that. There's kind of a mark right there. That's not dirt, that's actually a mark from the spacebar right here, where it just leaves prints on the screen, and some of the other keys as well. Now, you might be thinking, why in the world would I have stuck sticky tape here? And the reason is, here you can see this really well. You see this straight line going in the middle? That's actually the bezel of the screen pressing down onto the frame. So I just took sticky tape there to give it, that millimeter of headroom. And it worked so far. I'm still having small scratches on the sides, but besides that, it's working. Now, that's probably the major flaw I can find with this Subnotebook, is these prints and the relatively spongy build quality. Now moving on to the inside, which basically has Lenovo quality from top to bottom. Power button in the top right corner, excuse me. You have small function keys all the way through, and these are natively the F keys, and then the function keys like media buttons, brightness control are secondary, which you use by using the function key, but you can switch that in BIOS. Then also you have function and control keys inverted from what usually is standard on notebooks. You can again change that in the BIOS quite quickly. The keyboard is absolutely stellar. On a device like this, you will not find a better keyboard. It's not mechanical, but it has a very good touch to it. Now again, you can see the spongy build quality. I'm going to just zoom in. It might be hard to see, but the keyboard does flex a little bit, and with the entire chassis together. Also very nice is the page up and page down buttons. This is something missed out on a lot of laptops, notebooks, because the manufacturers apparently think you don't need it, but guess what, we do. Now about LEDs around the device. There's actually 4 of them, and 2 of them are actually these ThinkPad eyes, and they show the power state on, off, standby. Excuse me. Then this LED right here is actually, mistakenly I said that was a microphone in my unboxing. That's an LED to show webcam activity. The microphone is located right here. Then again here we have the power state LED, and then the last LED is right here next to the power inlet to show charging. Moving on, input methods besides the keyboard. The track point is probably the greatest invention I've ever seen on a notebook. I mean, it's amazing. I have never been able to use something as quickly as a track point. I took it 2 days to get used to, and now I sit on a friend's laptop and I miss it. I'm like looking for it. Then again, the center key here acts as pressing the scroll wheel, so you can press this and then move up and down to scroll on a web page instead of having to use these the sidebars. Now also the drivers for the touchpad are horrible. The Lenovo standard, the Lenovo original ones. So you want to go to Synaptics, download their driver, uninstall the Lenovo driver, and over-install the Synaptics driver. Sorry for that. So moving around, again, I'm going to take a quick look at the hardware of it. Oops, excuse me. So on the side here, for outputs, we have VGA, fan, HDMI, USB 2.0, Ethernet, 1 gigabit connector, and a headphone and microphone combined jack. So these are good for, you know, those typical Apple headphones, for example. Not saying I'm a fan of Apple, but Apple headphones that have them connected. Along the front, there's absolutely nothing besides this speaker grill, which is actually two stereo speakers, one on the left side, one on the right. And the sound quality is mediocre. It's not great, but it's also not horrible. Now on the right side you have the card reader, a powered USB, so even when it's turned off you can charge your devices with it. In the end we have another USB 2.0, the power plug, and a Kensington key lock. In the back there's only the large 6-cell battery. Now I'm actually going to remove this to show you guys. So on the left here is a quick slider which slides like so. You slide that to the left, it's unlocked. And on the right you have the same, but it's with a little spring, so it keeps jumping back. So you just pull that over and you can push the battery right out like so. Now battery specifications, it says it right here. I'll also show them in the video as text. 6-cell battery, and it lasts for a long time. You can watch movies for 6 to 7 hours depending on what you have turned on, so that's definitely a great feature. Now I'm actually also going to quickly open up the laptop so you can see this. Now remember how on the left side was the fan. This is the left now because have turned it upside down. This is all passive cooling, and this is where the fan sits. Maybe you can see this in the film, maybe not. No, you probably can't. There's a little fan underneath there. Now I'm going to open it up and show you guys the internals. Please also note that this is one large metal panel in contrast to the entire plastic body. Now all you have to do is remove these 3 screws. Three screws removed, and in we are. So on the internals, quickly showing you where what is. Now the hard drive is obviously located right here. By removing one screw, right, actually 2 screws, you can move the entire hard drive up and change it, switch it out for an SSD. Now note, this is a 7mm hard drive, meaning the thickness is 7mm. No ordinary hard drives, especially including SSDs, have a thickness of 9mm. So the only compatible hard drives are the Intel 510 series SSDs, which are 7mm natively if you buy the notebook version, or you can also buy a Crucial M4 or C300 SSD. But however, in those you will have to void your warranty, open them, and remove the spacer. Down here is where the wireless module can be found with the antennas, which also go into the chassis through here. Right here are the 2 RAM modules, one with a 2 GB and one with a 4 GB, no, 2 by 2, so 4 GB in total, which is sufficient for day-to-day use. Now underneath here where you can see this heatsink is the processor. It's an i3, I might be wrong, a 2337M, so it's an ultra low voltage at 1.4 GHz, which is slow. Believe me, it's slow. We'll get to the performance later. And here's this little blower fan which blows out this way. So much for the internals. I'll close the lid again and I'll be back. So I'm actually going to show you the boot up time, which is, you know, longer than ordinary, especially because of the slower processor and no SSD present. So pressing the power button, and immediately you'll hear the fan ramp up and air starting to come out of here. Starting Windows, it's through the BIOS. That's the advantage of these laptops, is that their BIOS is completely customized, fine-tuned. So actually there's gonna be, I'm not gonna type my password in for you guys, so I'll be back. So now logging in, you saw when I typed enter, pressed enter, quickly getting the viewing angle correctly. It's asking me to install something. So the camera might not pick this up, but the screen's not as bright as it might seem. Now I'm actually gonna pop it up to full brightness, which it is already. So actually let's do these handy tests. So quickly about the function keys. Here's mute, and actually shows you what it does on the screen. Volume down, volume up. Sleep, don't want to press that. This little blue is presentation mode. No, never mind. Wireless. You can turn wireless radios on, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. And I have to close that. Give me a second. This key here is for the webcam. I'm not going to press that because it takes some time. This is for presentation mode. What this brings up is a screen like so. Computer, duplicate it to external, extend it, and only on the projector or external monitor. I'm going to stick with this. What else is there to show you? This is a neat addition from Lenovo. A quick battery. It shows you how much battery you have left. And should you plug it in, plug the charger in, it tells you how much it's charged. And I wish this camera would focus, which it's not doing right now. About the brightness, the lowest brightness, which are actually F8 and F9 keys, lowest brightness is this, and yeah, you can barely see anything, but that's actually handy. I mean, when I'm in bed at night and I want to watch TV series or something, then actually the lowest brightness is still bright enough to light up the room and to not be too bright on the eyes. Full brightness is just not possible. However, the full brightness is fully sufficient for sitting in a car, in a train, or anything the like, watching a movie or working with direct sunlight because of the matte screen. Media controls, neat addition. I barely use them though. Actually, I'm going to quickly go into, I know, this is a very lame way of showing you the performance of this. I'm actually going to turn down the brightness a little bit, otherwise the camera doesn't see that. Windows Performance Index. So yeah, you can stop that if you like. It's Windows 7 Professional. You can see CPU 2357. Excuse me, I was wrong. 1.3 gigahertz. And since it's an i3, it has no turbo boost, which is sad. And you saw my product ID. I'm gonna cancel that out later. Windows Experience Index. You can see processor is definitely bottlenecking here. Well, I'm surprised the graphics got this much. Gaming graphics is definitely not a 6.1. I can tell you this machine struggles doing simple things, or rather simple things, but it's great for day-to-day use. It plays 1080p video. You can do really light CAD or 3D software rendering or modeling. It's great for browsing. So the big question is would I buy it again? And I have to say I clearly would. Please note that I paid 600 francs for this, so that's about $600 or just below that. There's the higher end i3 version, there's an AMD version which is slightly cheaper, but I'm very happy with this. The battery life is great. It's great for, you know, companion on the road. You can use it for nearly everything. I know it's not going to be as fancy as an Ultrabook, and it's about as thick as a MacBook normal, like 1 inch thick. And you know, it's not top of the line or anything, but it's fully sufficient. And I think if you're looking for something as a student, which is what I was looking for, and what I found is you can pack it in your bag in the morning, you know, don't mind it, put it together with your pencil case and your folders, pop it out at school, and it lasts you the whole day, and you can go home and you have the same files. So I would definitely recommend this laptop to anybody who's looking for a cheap but quality laptop, not sacrificing on input like other I'm not going to say any names now, but other brands that, you know, focus on, you know, fancy design and style and glossy surfaces. And this is more utilitarian, and it works. So this is David, and thank you for watching. See you guys later.